is one of the best ORM framework available in Java. Object Relational Mapping ORM nothing but. Why should we use the Hibernate? I would say one scenario that a company wants to change their database, so queries must be changed according to the database. Changing the queries in every file is almost a burden task. So here the Hibernate concept was arised. Hibernate is a Java framework which designed by Gavin King in 2001. It simplifies the development of the Java application to interact with the database. It is a open source, lightweight, executes faster than general JDBC and work based on ORM. The advantages of Hibernate are open source and lightweight, fast performance, database independent query, automatic table creation, easy to understand and write. And now every Hibernate application must have the following four files. First one is Pojo class and second one is configuration file, mapping file and logical file. This Pojo class contain the setters and getter methods of all the data members in that class. And second one is configuration file. The purpose of the configuration file is to define the complete properties of the database. The configuration file will be loaded into the Hibernate application only during the runtime of a project. Configuration file consists of the following information. First one is connection properties and second one is Hibernate properties and third one is about the mapping file information. In connection properties we have a property name called connection.driver class. Here we load the driver, and second one is we write the URL like something mysql jdbc slash colon mysql double colon double slash localhost 3306 and slash database name. Here we write username and password of the local mysql database. And here the properties, Hibernate properties, property name show SQL. Here generally in Hibernate we have direct method like save, update, delete, so that to what the query is formed we can see using the show underscore SQL. This dialect is used for the database, which database should be used, and HBM2 DDL.auto. Here we can write create or update. Automatic table creation is would been happen. And mapping file. Here we write the mapping file, and this mapping file connects to the Pojo class and how the Pojo class and the database, how the names would be changed. Here we shown sample mapping file. Hibernate mapping, Pojo class, table name, ID, variable name, and we can change the variable name in the table has column equal to column name. The mapping file can be written as XML or annotation way. Same configuration also can be defined as XML or annotation way. If you want to write in the annotation way, then we can use annotations like @entity, @table. The main difference between the two is that table name specifically refers the name of the database object used to store object data, while entity name refers to the real world object or the concept that table represent. Column represent that column name what should be keep in the database. ID is the primary key. Transient, the column would disappear in the table. Generated value strategy equal to generation type dot auto. It is used for automatic primary key generation in the entity. And next one we discuss about how the Hibernate application is created. And first thing is create a Maven project, because if we want to create the normal project, then we should add the jar files, which is difficult. And in Maven project, the main advantage is in pom.xml, if we add the dependency, then we can directly get the jar files. So that's why you use the Maven project. Maven archetype quick start. If we want a web application, so Maven archetype web app. Here we should change that, and it is 1.4 version. Update the Maven requirements from 1.7 version to 1.8 in pom.xml file. Go to Maven repository website and get the required dependencies that are, and then add these dependencies in the pom.xml file. Update the Maven project. Build a Hibernate application, Pojo class, configuration file, mapping file, and logic file, what we discussed now, and we basically run the application. Next, we want to discuss about HQL, Hibernate Query Language. Hibernate Query Language is a database independent query language. SQL depends on table name, whereas HQL depends on the class name. That means Pojo class. To implement HQL queries in Hibernate application, we need query interface. How the query interface would be created? Here we write a simple statement, query q equal to s dot create query string x. Here we write the query. Generally we write any SQL queries. The query interface has 5 methods. First one is execute update. Second one is list. Third one is set first result in record number. Fourth one is set max result. Fifth one is set parameter. How these were being applied. This one is retrieve HQL code. Simply here, first in logic file we configure the Hibernate configuration file. This is loaded only during the runtime of the project, and session factory and session both are the interface methods. So we build the session factory and we open the session. Now we do the transaction, because we to be stored permanently in the database, we use the transaction. If we didn't write t.commit, then it is temporarily saved, not the permanent. However, we open the session, we should close the session, and we should close the session factory too. And here we get the entire data through 5 methods, right? Here we have list method, so this list method is used. We can get the information, we can retrieve information through iterator method or for each loop method. And now here the set first result and set max result. This first result nothing but from the first row onwards it going to be retrieve, and how many results it retrieve? Max results of 3, up to 3 rows. From first row to first row, second row, and third row it would be retrieved from the students. So here also iterator method of for each loop method is used. String x equal to update student, set name equal to Kaushik, where id equal to 449. We can write like this, or simply here we can place double colon n here, where id equal to the double colon I. From there also we can. And when we are set the parameters, we should use the execute update method. Next, Hibernate criteria query language. Here criteria can be obtained by calling a method create criteria to the session object. This is the method. Here we write the Pojo class name, like employee is the Pojo class, so we can write here employee dot class to get the information. The method of criteria interface are add order, set first result, set max result, list. These three work same as HQL. This add first one add, second one add order works in different. Adds we use for the restriction class. It provides many number of methods which is used to apply criteria or restriction on a query. This restriction class has different method like less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. Here we write the code. criteria CR equal to session dot create criteria. Here we said right Pojo class name, student dot class, CR dot add method for restrictions, for order add order, restrictions dot, here we use the methods of the restrictions, that restrictions class like greater than or equal to, not equal to. Here what is this meaning is, first CGP, it only retrieves the columns whose CGPA is greater than 9.57, because it is greater than or equal to, right, list of student, and cr.list method is also there. Here we can use same iterative method of for each loop method. This is the order class. This class represents a specific order. The commonly used methods in this class are ascending and descending. Here we can mention same criteria CR equal to session dot create criteria student dot class, CR dot add order class dot, here the method name ascending or descending, CGPA, all the records will be given in descending order based on CGPA. Same list we can retrieve the information through iterator or for each loop.